Where is he? David asked officials as he waited for Harry. When will I meet him? He kept asking. But the prince had had no plans to see the former England football captain, nor even of being pictured with him. It was October 2018, and Harry was hosting the Invictus Games. Over previous years, Harry had met David at celebrity functions and also socially. The laddish prince enjoyed joshing with the world's most famous footballer in a restaurant or a pub. Since David had played a prominent role bringing the 2012 Olympics to Britain, and an important part in the 2010 unsuccessful bid for the Football World Cup, it seemed natural for the prince to ask David to join him at the celebrated competition for injured servicemen. Harry's invitation had originally been offered during his sunlit wedding in Windsor 5 months earlier. As a man who loved the royals, David would never refuse such an important request. But having flown halfway around the world, he was perplexed why officials, after he arrived at the sporting venue, were playing a dance to keep him happy, but away from Harry. The reason for the distance was Meghan, the newly married Duchess of Sussex. She wanted no competition in the media from David, and especially not from his wife Victoria. Meeting cheering crowds of admirers convinced Meghan that she was the royal family's new Diana. The added excitement was Meghan's announcement of her pregnancy. But inside the Sussex's headquarters in Sydney, the atmosphere was miserable. Meghan shouted at her staff and allegedly threw a cup of tea into the air. Accused in London of bullying her staff, an accusation she has denied. Both she and Harry were constantly searching the internet for hateful comments about themselves. In her bad mood, it seemed she was not prepared to tolerate anything flattering regarding the Beckhams and the games to appear in the media. At the house the Beckham family had rented in North Shore, Harry's snub was barely mentioned between David and Victoria. David didn't want to dwell on it. A bit strange, he said, but he did not call Harry. Nevertheless, the Beckhams were perplexed by Meghan. Ever since she had first moved into Harry's cottage in Kensington Palace in 2017, the Beckhams had been generous towards her. Unknown to the public, when she privately returned to Los Angeles before her marriage, she stayed in the Beckhams' 6-bedroom luxurious house in Beverly Hills. Her excuse was to avoid the paparazzi. At no cost, all her needs were provided by the Beckham staff. If there was any suspicion that Meghan was taking advantage of her new status, the Beckhams pushed their gripe aside. To build their relationship, Victoria had also given Meghan makeup advice soon after she moved into Kensington Palace. In her growing fashion business, she was also marketing cosmetics, and a member of her staff gave Harry's fiancé help on facials and hairdressing. Within weeks, The Sun reported Victoria's help. Sensitive to the media's probing of her turbulent past, Meghan was outraged. Contact was made with the Beckhams. David was embarrassed, but after speaking to his wife, denied that she had leaked any information. But Meghan still felt deeply hurt. TV pictures of the couple arriving at St. George's Chapel for the Sussex's wedding showed Victoria stony-faced and David chewing gum. They had not been invited to the wedding dinner. A near unforgivable insult considering all the Hollywood stars invited, and many were not friends. But regardless of that slight, David accepted Harry's request that he appear at the Invictus Games in Sydney. By then, a new complaint had arisen. Meghan wanted Victoria to supply free clothes and accessories from her expensive range. But such requests were against the palace's rules. That was the beginning of a bigger problem for both Meghan and later Victoria. Some years previously, as an unknown actress in Canada, Meghan had invented a successful lifestyle website called The Tig. Among the benefits she earned from The Tig were free products from luxury brands such as Hermes in exchange for promoting their handbags on her website. As a blatant celebrity hunter, Meghan found it tough to get freebies and fame. But once she became a member of the royal family, luxury brands were expected to fall over themselves to be associated with herself, a fashionista, including Victoria. At that stage in her business in 2017, Victoria was losing millions of pounds. Giving expensive clothes away free was generally disallowed, and she would not want to annoy the palace. A frisson developed between the two women. Yet during the 10 months before the Sydney snub, there was every reason for Meghan and Victoria to bond. Both were ambitious, active professional women, and critically both were self-made. As a fashionista, Meghan, 37, should have been fascinated by 44-year-old Victoria's bold attempts to build a brand and a business. They were also neighbors in Oxfordshire, close to the Soho farmhouse retreat.